We're back here on Overtime on WOTM. Mark, one of the kind of storied careers in the NFL, one of the ones that went in a lot of different ways, came to an end. Alex Smith, former #1 pick, calling it a career. What are some of the things that stand out to you as far as number 11?
Well, the things that really stand out is that he was considered a bust. I still remember the opening day of the draft party with him, and him being taken #1 overall and all the hype, and then he really struggled in his career until a coaching change led to a complete turnaround. A guy who thought he was a bust, and then you saw him be one of the most efficient quarterbacks of the last 10 years. In the postseason, 7 postseason games, 14 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Now, he only had a 2-5 record, but one of those losses was a game in which Kansas City blew a huge, 38-14 lead against the Colts. And he had a couple of those where Kansas City just could not win home games for a couple of years. But I love Alex Smith, and especially coming back from his injury, throwing 5 touchdowns and 1 pick last year for a Washington team after basically being on the verge of death.
Exactly, and you can't really write the story of Alex Smith without that part of it. Probably one of the greatest comebacks in the entire history of sports.
Absolutely.
I mean, you obviously think about the way that the leg was injured, #1, then getting an infection, #2, almost dying, and then he came back and not only came back and played, but played well, as you mentioned. It had a 5-1 record and led the Washington football team to a playoff berth. Obviously, a fantastic career. And last thing we'll look at here is one of the things that you put together, kind of the career before he got Jim Harbaugh and right after he got Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I thought Jim Harbaugh was great for his career with 49ers. And then if you also remember, he lost his job to Colin Kaepernick.
That's right.
So he could have really led them to more, but they felt like Kaepernick was a better fit for their offense. Even though he really turned his career around, went to Kansas City under Andy Reid, and 80-36, not bad. Some of those playoff losses were not his fault.
Exactly.
So I really think, and then to come back and to show the perseverance to play after going through all those things, him and his poor wife, a real testament to the human condition and the sheer battle that he faced and the will that he has. What a great human being, what a great football player.
Exactly. He's one of the only very, very few players that have won 30 games with 3 different football teams. Alex Smith calling it a career. We're calling it a show here tonight on this Monday. You'll see Mark again coming back on Wednesday. We have John in tomorrow on Overtime. We'll see you then.